just joining us, we're talking about picking the right dealership. And of course, the very first thing would always be reputation. That's one of the first things you want to look at. Now, we're going to get into some things now that are going to affect your deal, because obviously when you are selecting a dealership that you want to do business with, you want to get a great deal.
Absolutely.
I mean, so how do you pinpoint the dealer that can give you a great deal? Now, we talked before we went to the break about inventory. Now, here is a little gem. Now, again, I almost incriminate myself, but I will come back and tell you that even though my inventory doesn't necessarily match up with what I'm about to tell you, we're going to talk about market size and so on and so forth. But here's what I was going to tell you as far as inventory. If you visit a dealer that has a ton of cars, a sea of cars, that is a great place to do business with. Okay, now, I can't speak for their reputation. I can't speak for their professionalism. I can't speak for how they treat you. I can't speak for anything other than if there is a lot of cars on the lot, you are at the right place to get a good deal. Now, here's why. First and foremost, I've shared with you guys over the last year and a half that no dealer, well, I can't say no dealer, very few dealers pay for these cars cash. So most people have, for example, my lot, we pay every bit of $20,000 a month in interest charges on cars, a bill that comes to every month, that there is no offset to that bill after 90 days. So what happens is the manufacturer will give you a credit, small credit, and again, this is visible on the web, and this is what people try to negotiate, and why they run into resistance with dealers is because there's holdback and all this kind of, well, that stuff goes towards the floor planning of these automobiles. Well, once you expire 90 days, if a Camry is sitting on my lot past 90 days, it's on me. So from that point forward, if that car hasn't moved in 90 days, which is why it's so important these cars are turning, or that turn rate is so pivotal, we have to pay for it. There's nothing to offset that. It's a dead expense. So if you go to a lot and there are a lot of cars, rest assured that dealer is ready to sell some car. That's a lot of money, okay? So if you see that, then you know right away that the inventory is going to create a situation where you're at the right spot for deals. Now, let's take my store, for example, or almost any store in Milledgeville. You may say, man, those are small lots. That, you know, I've got $3 million in inventory. It's a lot of money, but it doesn't, it's really small in comparison. I was at World Toyota, and I had over $20 million in inventory, you know, in Atlanta. So that gives you a sign, but at the end of the day, it's still relative to the marketplace. Sure. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you come to my lot, and I can tell you if I sell 50 new cars a month, which is about what we sell, okay, and I have 180 new cars on the ground, okay, I've got a 3-month supply of cars. That's 3 months too many. Okay, so I have the same level of urgency, but when you look at the lot, you may think, okay, you know, there's decent selection, but I only see, you know, 130 cars out here. Well, if you're only selling 50, again, you only get credit for so long, and then those cars are on me. So I have the same level of urgency as well as the Honda store, the Ford store, the Chevrolet store. But I just want to tell you, as it relates to picking the right dealership, and we're talking about price, remember, how this plays a huge role is inventory is critical, because for every one car you sell, you get allocated basically 2 in return. I'm making it sound easier than what it is, but before I break down how you earn cars, basically that's how you earn cars. The more you sell, the more you turn, the more you earn.
Yeah, that's new cars.
That's correct. So a dealer is out of business if he's not selling cars. Right. I mean, if he's not earning more, he's not selling more, and it's the chicken or the egg theory. If you don't have any to sell, you're not going to earn any. If you don't sell any, you're not going to get any. So this inventory piece is so huge for you, the consumer, and what a huge benefit for you to get a great deal and know that you're at the right place to do business with. Now, a couple other things that are very important to realize. The more inventory, again, the more dealer cash that's available. The more rebates, the more dealer performance cash or contests, more market challenge money. Now, these are all car terms. These are monies that you'll never know about, okay, that the dealer has. Don't get me wrong, they're not tons of money, but you only get the majority of these monies when you hit the objective, all right? So, if a dealer's got $500 or $600 a car, he could earn retro back to the first car, okay, and we're talking about getting a good deal, and we're talking about a sea of cars and inventory. All these pieces come together like a puzzle. You, the consumer, have a golden opportunity and that's why, you know, Chip, we talk about the process and how there's pressure and how customers want to shop. You know, indirectly, that's where this pressure comes from, because the managers are connected to the inventory. If there's old age inventory, we write those cars down. That comes off the commission that the managers get. So this stuff all starts to perpetuate and come in one big circle. I don't know if I'm making sense. Am
Yep.
I articulating?
Yes, you
All
are.
right.
And, well, go ahead.
Well, so the point is, talking about picking the right dealership, when you see a store that has a large sample size of cars, you're at the right place as it relates to you getting a deal. Okay? There's a lot of factors involved with that, but just know that reputation is the first thing in picking the right dealership. The second thing is inventory. When we come back from the break, we're going to get right into the internet department and how that can be a little golden gem as well of how you know you're doing business with the right dealership. I'm going to clue you in on something that, again, most people aren't going to share it with you, but it's a telltale sign, and I want to share it with you when we come back.
Okay, Louie, got a question.
Yep.
All that was talking about new cars and the pressure to sell more cars so you get more. That all leads to the question often, or let me ask it like this, is it sometimes better to buy new than it is used?
It depends on the customer situation. The generic answer I would say initially, it's all going to depend on your situation. As it relates to a deal, which one of you can you get a better deal on? I don't know. Again, it wouldn't take me long to put pen to paper and figure it out as a percentage. I will tell you, when it comes to used cars, we have, again, most dealers don't pay cash for those cars. We floor plan those cars, and those cars drop in value, and we experience negative equity on cars after 60 days. We experience it as soon as we trade for a car, or as soon as we purchase a car, as soon as we service it, run it through detail, sit it on the lot. If we try to sell that car the very next day, we're going to lose $500-600. Period. So when you have that kind of urgency to sell automobiles, it's a very, the way I explain it to my managers is I want you to visualize that whole front line. That whole front line, instead of seeing an automobile parked side by side by side by side, I want you to visualize a pallet. And on that pallet is $23,288. On the next pallet is $17,300. On the next pallet, it's just cash. And if you don't turn that cash, okay, you start losing cash. So most managers and salespeople in a dealership are very tuned into the inventory, and we're all very much on the same page of what problems can occur when the lettuce starts to rot. We all know that you got to throw it away. You got to move forward.
I got you. All right, Louie. Well, thank you. We're talking how to choose a dealer and how you can get a better deal on a new car.